And we're here.
Whoa.
We're live. We're not live, but
Well.
we're here.
How are
We're
you,
back.
Forrest? How are you, my friend?
Bloody good, mate. Bloody good. Busy,
Yeah.
but bloody good. It's my anniversary today with Soph. So, as I did last year, I've decided to spend it with you.
I am absolutely flattered, mate.
As you should be. As you should be.
Thank you so much.
How about you?
So
How are you?
It's chaos.
So much.
It's chaos over here, mate. Absolute chaos. One, you've probably already noticed within those first minutes is that my internet's playing up, so we've got a delay going on in the old podcast. It's gonna be great. The other thing is that everybody in the house has got the plague. Everybody's ill. Not COVID. It's the worst kind. I kind of wish it kind of was COVID because you know what to do with COVID, but it's the usual, stuff. So yes, it's been a little bit chaotic. My brain's in all over different places.
That was one way to not actually say graphically what it was, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
It's grim. It's grim, right? Dear listener, you don't want to know that. But yeah, we've got a delay on the old podcast, so this might be fun. But to be honest, I'm really committed to get this episode out because I'm desperate to talk about it.
And with no further ado, we'll get stuck in. We're talking about Hawkeye, episodes 1 to 3. Hawkeye, episodes 1 to 3.
Well, do you know what? You know what I think we should do, Forrest?
What's that, mate?
I think we should, before we talk about Hawkeye, I think it might be a really good opportunity for us to talk about our Patreon. Do you know why?
Ooh.
Because we've only got one member so far.
Oh, come on. We're gonna get better than that.
Exactly.
What do we get if we are a Patreon member?
Okay, dear listener, are you ready for this? I'm about to tell you everything that you should know about our Patreon. It's been running for about a month or so now, but we are literally at the place where me and Forrest are just about to record some new exclusive footage. And that'll be gaming footage. That might be extra bits of the podcast, uncut bits. But these are the tiers. Let me talk to you about it. Here we go. So for £3 a month, dear listener, you can become an Eternals hero, which is kind of like that. Yeah, you're part of the... Yeah, you're there. You're in it. You're in the clan. All right. And that's when you get our specific Patreon shout outs in our podcast. And we'll be doing those weekly starting very soon. Hence why we're going to plug in them right now. But the most popular one is our £5 a month, which is the Avenger Hero tier. You will become an elite member of our dear listening crew. You will be given an opportunity to have Patreon shout outs, of course, behind the scenes content, of course, and exclusive content, which will contain gaming, all kinds of stuff. We're going to get gaming down. I think we're going to play some Fortnite for a bit. Who knows?
I can't wait, mate.
It's going to be great.
All sorts.
Exactly. And then on top of that, for the final tier, we've got the K-Dog Hero tier, which is at £10 a month. And you get everything, all the above, with then becoming a guest on our show as well. You'll get a guest appearance on our podcast. We'll talk to you, we'll give you a DM, and you'll come on our show. We'll talk about stuff, whatever it might be. It might be a monthly news review. It might be talking about a film or a TV show. But also, on top of that, you'll also get 20% off on all of our merchandise that is yet to be re-released.
Oh, 20% off of merchandise that's yet to be re-released. Oh.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So, dear listener, please, our Patreon links are on our link tree. It's on our Instagram page. Go ahead, click it, join it. It's about to kick off. All right, it's about to kick off. So yes, thank you very much. Let's go to Hawkeye. Forrest, I want a summary, mate. Let's go.
Oh. What, my
I know,
thoughts
exactly.
as a summary?
I just realised when I said it, I was like, it's a TV show, isn't it?
It's a TV show. We don't do a synopsis, man.
It really guts me. Do you know what? The summaries really just get me going. And it's the part of the format of our podcast that I really look forward to. Well, okay, instead of that, let's have a look at the tomato meter, shall we? Should we do that?
Oh, flick it up for me.
Okay, yeah. I'm doing it right now.
Get your tomatoes up for me, mate. Take them out and pop them in my eyesight. Come on.
No, I know it's your anniversary, but you know. Okay, here we go. So, Hawkeye, we're about to talk about it. The tomato meter. Oh, so the tomato meter is 92%.
It's very high. It's very high tomato. Compared to Eternals, very high.
Yeah. The audience average is at 89%.
Okay, still very high. Still very high.
It is. It is. I think in terms of the way that I do, so I'll give you my overall views currently on episodes 1 to 3 on Hawkeye is quite simply, I'm really, really enjoying this rewatch.
Yeah.
This delay. Oh my God.
I can only apologise to everyone who's listening because this is going to feel like... what it feels like is that me and Matt fucking hate each other. So every time one of us talks, we just leave a massive gap and just go, yeah, sounds great. Sounds good.
I kind of feel like this is our first bit of exclusive content now. Like this is bad.
I think you just caught up. You're like your camera is robotic, so I can tell. Suddenly it speeds up, and suddenly I know that we're caught up again. And then occasionally
get rid of my camera.
Drop back. I mean, nah. Well, unless it might do a bit. Who knows?
Let me just do that.
Oh,
okay. How does that? It's just weird, isn't it?
That's a sad sight. That is, mate. Is it better though?
It is, isn't it? Well, I don't know. You tell me.
Honestly, it's coming. You're answering me.
Really?
Quick fire question. Ham or eggs?
Eggs.
Right, that was about 10 minutes, but okay, it's getting...
Ay, caramba.
It's all right. We're going to work with it. We'll work with it, but just bear in mind as you listen to the rest of the podcast. All right? My thoughts...
It's 3 megabits per second right now.
Your internet, mate. Matt's
What's
internet.
Going on?
Honestly, I tell you what, what you've done really well here, Matt, is shown an incentive to get our Patreon. Get this man
100%.
some internet that isn't the speed of a slug.
It says your internet connection is slow. No duh.
Oh, really?
No duh.
What a pavlova.
This is such a pavlova.
Oh, he's back again. There he is.
I am, because what else am I going to do?
Exactly. I'll just say my thoughts, and then in about half an hour you can pipe up. When you've heard more. I think this is genuinely going to be interesting because first time I watched Hawkeye, thoroughly enjoyed myself. I thought it was great. I love the Christmas theme. I'm quite a massive fan of Kate Bishop. Still am a big fan of Kate Bishop. I think the actress is brilliant. The character's good. But I have to say, Matt, that on the rewatch of episodes 1 to 3, I thought it was just purely I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode so it doesn't keep vibrating every 5 seconds. But I have to say, and I thought it was just episode 1 because I watched it quite late. But actually, I'm not digging it as much the second time round, Matt.
That's really surprising because, like, for me, it's the complete opposite. Complete opposite. I watched it the first time and I remember going, nah, I'm not too bothered. fine. Yeah, fine. Kingpin's going to be turning up at some point. Great. And I was more excited for the kind of potential tie-ins it has with the wider scope of the MCU. But with this rewatch, like, I'm really digging like Kate Bishop's, Haley Steinfeld's performances, Jeremy Renner just absolutely smashing it out of the park. I think the first episode is really good. I think the second episode's a bit slower, but I watched the third one last night and I really, really enjoyed it. I think for me personally, the pacing's really good. The length of the storytelling's really sharp and on point to what I think the MCU Disney Plus TV series should kind of adhere to and keep to going forward. It's less about kind of sticking to a running time. It's about, okay, how much time do we need to tell this episode? Great. Because so the first one's, I think, about 40 minutes, and the third one's, I think, 45 to 50 minutes, right? So they're different in length. I like that. I think it works really well. So far, to be honest, it's not like amazing, but I'm just enjoying it as a TV show.
Yeah, I think for me there's a lot of very similar scenes and just not there's not a lot of characters. There's not a lot arguably going on. I think it harks back to last week with your golden thread. Certainly early on in this series, fuck all golden thread apart from we see Clint going to watch a musical for the Avengers. So they bring in the Avengers, they bring in New York, but even that feels very kind of almost cheaply done. It's like, oh yeah, he's part of the Avengers. Here's a glimpse to 2012. But actually, the whole thing with Ronan, you wouldn't need to know any of that. You just know that Clint's mental health went bad, turned into Ronan. He's caused a load of crap. Right, there we are.
Yeah, I think it's I think in terms of the storytelling, it's quite plain to see where it's heading and what it's about. I think so. Yeah, let's talk about episode 1. So in terms of like the beginning of getting Ronan's gear back and sort of like the mysteriousness around Ronan as well. We never really knew much about the character, why Clint decided to do this as well in terms of those past 5 years and the kind of the dirty work that he did. It's starting to fall through the cracks now, and he's kind of having to sort of cover his tracks a bit and cover the dirty work, and all he wants to do is just throw it under the rug and just move on with his life. And you can see that in the beginning. And what's great as well, we didn't talk about it last week, but Rogers the Musical, this is the first time we get to see Rogers the Musical.
It
Absolutely
is
absolutely amazing.
And they're making it a real thing, aren't they?
They have, yeah. So Disney, I think it's Disney World in Florida, I think, that have now put together a 45-minute show of Rogers the Musical, and you can watch it in full on YouTube, dear listener.
Oh my God.
You bloody well can.
You bloody well should. I really like. Like I say, I like the introduction of Kate Bishop. I do like the intro scene, seeing New York, and getting context with that. I do like the first episode. I think it presents what we need to be presented in a really nice fashion. I think there's some good key scenes there. The auction scene always, for some reason, the auction scene stuck with me the first time and the second time. Like, I was kind of really looking forward to that. I think because I didn't see the end of that scene coming the first time. I knew you kind of know something's going to happen, but I kind of didn't expect a car to go straight into the place and all that stuff. But I like it. I think what do you think of Armand, Simon Callow?
Oh, amazing! We didn't get enough of him, I don't think. When the reveal of him coming in was really great, and I think I thought when I first watched it, I do remember thinking that he would be a main player in it. But we don't get enough of him, and I think he kind of gets cut short quite quickly. I'm surprised he agreed to do it, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, I wonder whether, and normally I got like Secret Invasion. I'm quite enjoying the fact that we don't know the answers to questions, right? And that the audience kind of knows as much as Nick Fury knows, and we're seeing it through his eyes to an extent. But with this, I think I would have liked to have known a bit more than Kate Bishop. And
Yeah.
I think it's because we get so little of Armand, we get so little of her mum. There's a lot of characters that we don't really know too much about. And because these are like Kate Bishop's a brand new character, I wouldn't consider Clint a massive player when it comes to the Avengers. Like, he's great, but he's not someone you're like, oh yeah, can't wait for his show. So I think for me, I would have quite liked to have seen. Maybe it started off like the first episode with the kind of the villain and the reasons why, and bringing in Ronan and looking at what the relationship with Armin there and Jack. I think I would have liked the background and then had the introduction to Kate Bishop, who knows none of this.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think maybe just kind of a little bit more explanation on how that story will tell. I think what I really enjoy though about Kate Bishop is this kind of, you've got this teenagery sort of Peter Parker-esque through the female kind of lens of being, still just coming out of school. She's 21, so she's a little bit older maybe, but she's got this kind of affinity to superheroes. There she is. Say hello, Teach. You haven't said hello in a while. She's in a Cinderella dress.
No, our extra guest has not arrived on the podcast for a long time.
Do you want to come sit with me?
Hello.
Oh!
Hello, Thea. Hello. Hello. How are you? You right? Yeah, not going to say you're good. She's just going to keep nodding.
She's going to nod. She's going to nod. So we were just talking about Kate Bishop, mate. We were talking about how we're enjoying Haley Steinfeld's performance in Hawkeye. And I was just saying that I think her youthfulness against Clint Barton's jadedness is quite a nice contrast. And you get this nice sort of duo quite quickly and initially when they meet as well in this first parts. But I think you're right. Maybe we probably could have got some flashback from Armand about his story and the importance. I really enjoyed this underground auction moment, and there wasn't enough of it. And it would have been cool to have known that if there was like this sort of like underground movement that are just selling off like tech, like Avengers tech in the black market. We know that happens. We know that does happen because it's been shown in different MCU projects and films and stuff. But like with Thingy's Gollum's role, because he does that as well. He auctions off his.
Oh yeah, Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, his role's like that.
Ulysses.
Well.
Yeah.
Ulysses.
Is it Ulysses? Yeah.
That's it. You're right. But like, so you've got that. But I think it would have been nice to see this sort of if we're talking DC, like the Court of Owls, right? A little league of people that are just selling off black market stuff. But yeah, I think the way that first section is really paced well. Yeah, the New York scene as it goes back to 2012, seeing it through the eyes. I really thought of you, mate. Seeing it through the eyes of the pedestrians. We were in their home, and the Battle of New York's unfolding in front of them.
Look at that, loving the civilians. They're all coming out for this show. Absolutely. I think another highlight scene from episode 1. It kind of goes back to what you were saying about Peter Parker. The mix of kind of Peter Parker with Kate Bishop there. Thea is making some very funny faces to camera right now. She is. That is what a look there. Yes. So. Wow, that's our real footage sorted there, isn't it?
That's sorted, isn't it? That's sorted. We need to do that. I think let's do that. That's better.
Look at that.
There you go.
Yes. So there was a bit where I didn't actually say what the scene was. I've just kept saying there's a bit with Peter Parker. So Kate Bishop, being like with the personality of Peter Parker, is during the bell tower scene where she pops a little arrow at the bell, and then it kind of absolutely just goes tits up from there on. I really like that scene. I thought that was a good comedy, a bit of comedy, and really showcased the kind of young persona of Bishop.
I'm surprised we didn't get to see her friends. I can't remember if we see them again in the later episodes, but those two friends that she's with, I think that's all we get with them.
Yeah, very. Yeah. It's just very. It is very odd. Outside of Clint and Bishop, we don't. I don't think we get all that much for other characters, to be honest. Jack a little bit more. Even the mum, not very much. It's very, very centered on a few characters, which is fine. But I think if you're going to introduce other characters, we need to know more about them. I find, there's no. I find a very little point in introducing characters if you're going to use them for 10 minutes. In the same vein as Armand, to be honest.
Any thoughts on the evil stepdad? Dalton, Jacques.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Jacques. I liked it. I think I made some comments about Jacques in episode 2. So actually, let's forward to episode 2, because I found him to be a bit too caricature. I'm not sure about the acting for that. Gotta be honest.
Okay.
I felt it was a bit like, Dark Lord villain, like, like, I am your evil stepfather. Like, come on, mate. Let's flesh this character out a bit. Give me some emotion. Make me feel on your side.
I get Gomez Adams from him, and I don't know if that's because this is ridiculous. I'm currently playing him, right? So all I see is this mustache.
What a promotion there!
Oh, I had to. Oh.
I'm currently playing Gomez Adam in the Adams Family, and I just really felt the two characters align with each other.
That felt so dirty saying it. It felt so dirty.
I get it. Yeah, I get that. Can I just say, I'm just gonna, for a couple of minutes, just distracted by the fact that we're both in Burgundy.
We are, aren't we?
We've both got an identical. Well, yeah, almost identical.
Mine's a little bit. It's more. Mine's meant to be. It is meant to be burgundy, but I think it's turned brown. Brown? My voice? Brown?
It's turned to brown. Okay. All right. That's just felt incredibly distracted there by your t-shirt choice. Jacques. Two characters couture for me. Episode 2 thoughts. What are your thoughts on episode 2?
Yeah, so this is when I kind of like lost. I didn't lose attention, but it was just kind of. It just felt like it was a little bit slower in terms of storytelling. So they were, basically, the Ronin outfit gets absconded by a LARP enthusiast. So it's a live action role play enthusiast, of which something I really want to do. I want to do some LARPing.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be all over that. I think that's more bonus footage than me and you made that.
That is, isn't it?
Oh, that would be remarkable.
Let's do it. I'm well up
for it. Sergio, son of Matsbury, I challenge you to a fight. The highest pedigree. That'll be amazing.
But yeah, it's kind of like a cat and mouse moment where he's just having to pull all these favors. And seeing Clint in these ridiculous scenarios becomes a little bit sitcom-y and unnecessarily comedic, where it's like, I don't need that from Clint. Clint's a different type of character, I think, for us. You can see other, comedic roles, comedic heroes. You can see Ant-Man doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. But Hawkeye, maybe not. So I kind of lost a little bit interest. What I've put down here is the introduction of Echo at the end, the reveal of Echo. I found quite strange. I mean, I will talk about the third episode in a moment. Yeah.
Yes. What a weird moment of TV. You talking about like her whole, like, she turns round and she goes like off.
Yes.
And then she turns round, looks at the screen, end of episode. But it's not the fact that happens, it's how she does that.
Yeah,
Very
it's like we're meant
weird.
to know her. It's weird.
Yeah. It's like, hang on, I get the real. It's like.
Wait, let me have a go. Let me have a go. I'll have a go.
Yeah. Boom. End of episode. And I'm thank you. I have that in my notes. I was, what is that about at the end? That's what I put in my note. What if anyone can tell us who the fuck thought that looked like? I don't know what it's supposed to look. Impressive, interesting, like serve up a next episode. Very odd way to introduce a character.
You only do that when you are introducing somebody really famous into your story. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, it's like Anne Hathaway. Is it Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's fine, but it just was used so peculiarly. There was different ways of doing that.
That is, it's almost like it's almost like they forgot to put in a shot. Like before she looks back at the camera, there was supposed to be a shot of her like turning around or us seeing the bloke behind, like going, oh, okay, not the right time or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just fair. It was very weirdly like placed. That
Bizarre, absolutely bizarre.
Yeah. But I am glad you've said that is Echo, because at this point we don't know it's Echo, do we? It's given another name, right? She's given.
So, I mean, she's credited as Echo, but she does have a real name,
Okay.
which.
Yeah. Do we know? Is she called Echo in this series at all, or is that something that's come after that?
I think it comes after, doesn't it? I think it's something that's revealed later. We get a little bit about the story in the third episode. I think it's Maya Lopez. There you go, Maya Lopez.
Because
I think so, and also.
Sorry, big
delay
delay
coming into effect.
Sorry,
what? Sorry, go. No, you go. No, you
Hello?
go. What? No. Hello.
For me, I was really confused by that, because I was like, oh, hang on a minute, Echo, you know, she's deaf, and I was like, hang on a minute, we've already got the Eternal, now we've got her. I was like, she must be Echo, but I don't think, even up to now, and this is how bad I am as a fan sometimes, even up to this point, I didn't know that actress was, or that character was Echo. So I feel like I've done my. I've learned something.
More has been revealed. You've learnt it, exactly.
Thank you.
You've learnt it. Alec Cox, who plays Maya Lopez, is the kind of the official. Well, not to say the official first deaf person, because we've also got that in Eternals, but we've got it's a deaf amputee in the MCU as well. So she is the first in that kind of regard. I think in terms of it's definitely worth saying in terms of the focuses of the MCU, particularly going forward on these points for Eternals, for Hawkeye, for even Miss Marvel as well. It's representation, right? So it's about finding those right stories within those right representations. I really dig her role. I really dig her. Such a 90s term. I can't believe I said dig.
I'm questioning the choice, to be fair.
I'm really enjoying her story.
I dig her, and you just left it there. Oh, okay. All right. Do you know how she would react if you said that? Say it to me again.
I really dig her.
Come out of fucking nowhere. Whoosh! Okay, this. Fantastic. Lovely. Love that. Hands down, I think my favourite episode, purely because it ends in such a peculiar fashion, and I've never seen anything on TV or film like it. I never will again.
Incredible stuff. Really is.
I think, I really hope that little set, it's not even a scene, it's just a clip at the end, has its own like following. I'm sure there's people out there who think exactly the same. If we put that into Google, there'll be all types of shit, I can imagine. Episode 3, hit me up.
Episode 3. The best sequence for me is got to be the fight sequence with the tracksuit mafia where it's just literally you're in kind of like, it starts with being in a POV effectively in the back seat, and it's so immersive.
What a shot! So you've gone from one really bad shot at the end of episode 2 to
Yeah,
that, which it's like a
yeah,
360 track, and it just keeps going round, doesn't it? Right, a
it's a
couple of
brilliant.
times.
Yeah.
It reminds me, Matt, of The Last of Us.
Yes,
I don't know if you've played or seen The Last of Us, but the
I've
truck,
played
same
it.
truck
Yeah.
effect, where we get that camera revolves in the back of the truck, and we see what's going behind Ellie, and it reminds me. It's a brilliant type of shot. Love it.
I think it's quite a long sequence actually. So you got a lot of the fighting of the. What I really love is the comedy in that moment, and the fact that he's obviously had his death clips just been battered, so he can't hear anything. But there's this moment where he's suggesting things to her, she's suggesting it, then he's suggesting it, and she's going, "Oh, we're communicating. This is great." And you get that kind of moment of cohesion, and we get to see the full effect of his trick arrows, which is great. That's a payoff we've been wanting from Hawkeye for a long time. Really weird ones. I mean, the purple sludge one, the putty arrow, I found really peculiar. The CGI on the putty was atrocious, but I'll forgive it.
Yeah, it kind of felt like, it kind of went. The comedy went a bit like childish then, and I was a bit like,
Yeah,
I think you've kind of lost me there. You could have done some funny trick. You could have had a funny trick that he was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize I had that. But he's not going to have that many odd tricks, and he did. And I also felt that scene went on for a little bit longer. I felt like it's quite a self-indulgent scene. I think that one.
100%, 100%. It did feel like it kind of should have ended a little bit longer, but nevertheless, it was one of those moments I really enjoyed. And prior to it as well, when they were held up in the little warehouse, the tracksuit mafia are absolutely hilarious. They remind me of the goons that you get in like the Spider-Man games, the Insomniac games.
Yes, yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
it's great
They're
because you get
really
they're
good.
in New York, right? You get it, right? So you get those groups. I will say now with that, you've got, it's Christmas time in New York. Okay,
Got my
this is
baubles
this right. This is this is the first kind of Christmas iteration that we're getting in this year. So it just happened last year. This got to be the same year that Multiverse of Madness happens. Well, not Multiverse of Madness, but sorry, Spider-Man No Way Home happens.
Ooh.
Because No Way Home happens between Halloween and Christmas. This is Christmas. So the multiverse stuff that Spider-Man has just done has already happened. So this is another theory I'm putting out here to you, dear listener.
Hit me up with a theory.
Am I right in thinking? So at this point, Clint Barton doesn't know who Peter Parker is. Has it been erased already?
Perhaps dapsy.
Is there a little Easter egg in there?
Are we sure the timelines are right? That feels like quite a pivotal thing is happening in the background. At the same
final
time.
scene we get from Spider-Man in No Way Home is that new suit that he has, and he's swinging through the streets of New York City at Christmas time, the same time as this series. I'm just putting it out there, dear listener. I honestly, dear listener, if you do know any kind of like Easter eggs or theories around that, please give us a message. All right, this is what this whole podcast is about. So do email us on don'tbeaheropodcast@gmail.com, or just give us a little message on Instagram. Okay, we're pretty receptive on that kind of platform at the moment. All as well, we're on Threads. Threads is a thing now, isn't it? So catch us on Threads.
So you are absolutely correct though. I've done my own research. November 2024 is when Spider-Man No Way Home was set. And then December 2024 is when Hawkeye is set. It means that at that point the MCU had jumped forward to their version of 2023. So 2024. And then No Way Home. Yeah. Interesting. That's
So he has
intriguing.
forgotten his name,
Mm.
which then might explain why we don't get Spider-Man in this series, because there is honestly but when they were on the Brooklyn Bridge at the end or the mid part, I think either it might have been the third episode, it was, when they get to the Brooklyn Bridge, I was like, well, this is a moment for Spider-Man. I mean, the Brooklyn Bridge
Mm.
is very synonymous to Spider-Man, right? It's a monument. It's something like, it's almost, you might as well have done that outside the Daily Bugle. Like, I
Mm.
honestly was like, he has to turn up at this moment. Obviously, we know he doesn't, but like, maybe that's why he's laying low. Spider-Man's laying low because he knows no one knows him anymore. So he's just getting on with life. Hence why all of this stuff that happens around Hawkeye goes over his head.
Ah. I like it. I like it. I can approve of it.
Yeah,
I also want to know if anything else happens in the background. I'm now interested because there must be another Easter egg related to that. Because that's such a pivotal. So villains are coming back,
massive.
other Spider-Men are coming back. So there must be. And as you were talking, there was something that I went, "Oh, hang on a minute. I can't remember what it is now." But someone mentions another character at some point. I'll have a think. I'm now on detective mode, Matt, for the rest of the series. I'm going to
Get
suss
deep
out if
diving.
any other superheroes mentioned.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about, dear listener. Do the same thing. Do some deep diving. Let's have a chat about it. We've got another week of this to talk about. So actually, let's do this right now. Is Hawkeye connected to Spider-Man No Way Home in any way, shape, or form? I'm of the theories that there is a connection, but only through the means of deliberately Spider-Man deciding not to interfere, because at this point, theoretically, they have forgotten his name.
Mm. Question: does the auction feature anything that would have been used by a hero that we lost but came back because of what Spider-Man did?
Ooh, good question. Don't know because
Because we
what was auctioned off was the stuff that they got from the Avengers and Stark Towers and compound.
mm,
So when they exited
but
the Avengers Tower, they got a lot of stuff.
okay. Mm.
Maybe though.
Intriguing. Yeah. I say, I want to know. Get. I'm going to look it up. Going to wait for the podcast listeners to let us know. Can't wait. I'm excited now. You've got
Amazing.
me all excited there,
Got
man.
you. I got you in it. So again, in terms of episode 3, we in the beginning of episode 3, we got to see Maya's Maya sort of story as it kind of breaks through. This is, again, I just want to
Mm.
say that this is how you introduce a character, right? Fair enough, you had that weird reveal at the end, whatever, but then you did
Yeah.
immediately go, okay, but let's learn about her now. Let's learn about her origin. And I will notice, and I will say, and I only noticed it with the second rewatch. This is why rewatching is so good. Where she has a karate
Mm.
lesson, her dad goes, "I'm going to leave you to my uncle now, your uncle now." And you can see by the enormity of the hands and the way that that person is standing that is Kingpin. That's at that karate
Ooh.
lesson, and you can see by her eyes just sort of towering above as well, and seeing this kind of gargantuan man. So in the,
Well,
you we don't get a full reveal through. I know between episodes 3 and 6. Hello, Peggy. Between episodes 3 and 6.
the cat's arrived and she's just absolutely bombed on camera there.
That is so
That's
good.
absolutely outrageous. She's come in. She's now licking my hand. She's saying hello. She wants to be part of it. Gotta love her. Honest to God. She's just
But
yeah. There she
we've
is.
got
Carry on.
we've got a wonderful story that's going to be played out in the Echo series, which I'm looking forward to, which is coming out in November, and this will be the first series that Disney Plus will be letting out in its entirety from episode 1 to I think 6. I think so. It won't be weekly. It
Mm.
will be a binge content series, which they're testing out with the Echo series. But we'll get to see lots being played out with her relationship with Kingpin and her story going forward. And I think this is really good, quick kind of, this is who she is, this is what she does, and this is how she's going to move in this story with, because we've got to talk about Kate Bishop, we've got to learn about her, we've got to learn about Clint and his role going forward. And obviously, in a moment, in episode 3, not to give any spoilers, but I know we've got Florence Pugh coming as well. So, stuff like that.
Yeah, episode 4, you mean, Florence Pugh. Yeah, 4. Which I can't wait for. Florence Pugh is my favourite character in this whole series. Absolutely love her in this. I think she's brilliant. She's
fantastic. Yeah, 100%. And you can already tell. I mean, I know we've already watched it once, but like, when you can tell that this is a series for Yelena to really succeed in and to grow as a character. So I think for me as well, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I would have loved to have. I know they only just announced, I think, when the series came out, that Daredevil was going to be coming into the MCU. Because that was coming through from No Way Home. It would have been really great to get a Daredevil cameo in this with Kingpin. It just would have solidified and linked everything so well with their Netflix series, which we should watch that at some point. We should absolutely review those.
We need to watch Daredevil, which I haven't seen, along with Moon Knight, which we definitely are.
Oh my gosh. My guy.
Excited by that. I completely agree with everything you said. Maya, her backstory is great in this. Love the camera angle in the car I've put with that big long scene that we're talking about. Also, I don't know if you have any knowledge, but the Sloan Limited is mentioned in this episode, and that has surely got to have more. Sloan Limited as a company, and I think it's something to do with Jack and Armand, and that makes me seriously think that that's got to be connected to something we know.
Oh, it does ring a bell. Sloan Limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you'd be all over it like a rat up a drain pipe already.
That might be a Spider-Man thing in my head.
Sloan Limited Marvel. Let me go to the live feed. Sloan Limited is a shell company established by Wilson Fisk that launders money for the tracksuit mafia.
Wilson Fisk, yeah, because it's Kingpin Man, right? Woo-hoo. Yeah, I think I think with episode 1, 2, and 3, it's difficult to really review it in a full hour, but I think it does exactly what it needs to do in terms of introducing the characters, solidifying the plot, getting the good moments in quickly, okay, and getting the good characters in quickly, get us to buy into those characters. Now, going forward, we're going to get more action. We're going to get more kind of twists and turns being played through. What I'm really looking forward to seeing now is Clint's character developing in the world that he's living in, and just I know he just wants to get his life back on track and stuff, but ultimately at what cost? And I don't really remember how Clint's story ends in episode 6, so I'm looking forward to sort of going back and watching that in particular.
Definitely, absolutely, I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it not as much as I did the first time, but I think as soon as Yelena gets in it, things start to unravel quite quickly. So I think it gets a little. I feel like there's been a lot of mood shots of Clint at the moment. Got a lot of mood shots, but it's quite formulaic at the moment. So I'm looking. I think the next 3 episodes do unleash itself a little bit better than it has done.
I get you on that. Yeah, mood shots. Yeah, and now. Going forward, I'm really interested to know what happens with Kate Bishop's return to the MCU, because there's a heavily rumoured project for the Young Avengers. Now, it's not been slated at all. It's not been put in, but there is currently, and I might be wrong, dear listener, so please do correct me if I am, but as far as I know, there is no plans for her to be in any future projects that are currently announced or in the pipeline.
Not even Thunderbolts?
I don't think so.
Because we get Yelena, don't we?
We get Yelena. As of June, so according to HeroicHollywood.com, on the 27th of June, it says Haley Steinfeld will return as Kate Bishop in the heavily rumoured Young Avengers project. But that is a scoop, my dear friends. So, yeah.
It's a Scooby Dooby Doop.
Scooby Doo.
All right, well, I hope so, because she's far too good to not be in anything. So.
I know, 100%.
Great.
Right, dear Forrest, I'm aware of how terrible this Wi-Fi has been, and I'm fully aware that I'm taking up your time on your anniversary with your...
I could not think of anything better to do.
Sophie's going to be so annoyed at me.
The joys. Oh, she is happy. Oh, to be fair, I can't hear a beep. She's probably asleep. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to episode 2. I'll see you next week, mate. I'll see you next week.
Sign up to our Patreon, dear listener. Do it now.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Much love. Kiss, kiss. Goodbye.